Hi guys. Today I wanted to share what I consider the beginning of my spiritual shift, aka timeline shift, whatever you want to call it. I've never been traditionally religious, so to speak, but I've always believed there's more than what's in the Bible. But I've always believed in a higher power, and I've always believed that that power is also within me. So that said, I was having a really difficult time after I lost my job in April. In May, I had had one interview with a company, and that was the only place that had called me. And so, even though I didn't feel really great about the job itself, because I just had the suffocating feeling when I thought of it, I didn't have any choice. So at the same time this was happening, my sister was also waiting to hear whether she got a house or not that they had put in a bid for. So with that on my mind, one night I just was overwhelmed by, doubt and insecurity. I didn't know what to do. So I got two pillows, one for my knees and one for my forehead. And for the first time in my life, I dropped to my knees and with my forehead, my knees on the pillow, my forehead on the other pillow. So in a complete position of surrender. Like I said, I'd never prayed like that before. And if I hadn't have lost like 80 some pounds, I'd still be on the floor. I would never get off the floor. But anyway, I digress. So I was crying and praying and begging God for the chance for a second interview and for my sister to get the job. And I probably was there 15 or so minutes crying. God has always been very responsive to when I cry. There's always been an answer. But anyway, sometime in the prayer, I got chills, not from the cold, but chills from what was going on. And later, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, I realize what certain people talk about when they feel God's presence, because it took me a while to realize God's presence. That's resonating with God. So I felt that. And it was just amazing. And from that moment on, I did get the second interview, and my sister got the house, thank God. But I didn't get the job because I changed my mind in that, because I realized God wanted me to go a different direction with what was happening to me. So anyway, while I was down on the floor, like I said, I had the chills. But from that moment, even though things didn't happen right away, I started getting signs and synchronicities. And one time leading up to it, like my chills were so strong. And like I said, now it's resonance. It happens to me all the time in certain situations, which it never used to happen to me before. And there's one day, I'll share this in a different video. I actually shared the chills over the phone. I transmitted the chills to my friend. When we were talking, I was telling her about my chills, and she started feeling them in the same place. Which I hadn't told her where I was feeling these chills, which was an unusual, part of my body. So anyway, from that moment on, I started just God talking to me, signs, synchronicities. And I don't chase signs. They chase me. And plus, I'm a Sagittarius, so I don't do subtlety. If there's a subtle sign, it's not like, in other words, it's not like I'm just picking things to say as a sign. When God sends me signs, it is very, very, very specific. It's like a neon flashing sign. If it's subtle, I might get it a few days later when I think about it, but not in the moment. So I don't do subtlety. So God knows that. So what I've been sharing when I'm talking about signs and synchronicities are in my little shorts are just so many signs I've been having, and nothing appears to be happening, but yet everything is happening. And I trust God, and I believe that everything's going to be okay. And I believe that this channel, these videos, my book, The Shift, that is all part of my mission that God has laid out for me. I'm not perfect. and nobody is. And I'm a little bit puzzled and shocked that God has apparently chosen me to do it. Um, and I'll tell you about a very specific sign in another either shorter video that tells me that this is just not in my mind. It's actually a physical mark that's been left, that God left on me. So anyway, I know that sounds woo-woo. I don't mean it to sound, or even emotional. I'm very happy. I know the prosperity is coming. I know everything is supposed to be happening for me, and it is in the process of happening, and I am remaining faithful. But I just wanted to share that because not a lot of people know really what happened to me, and I'll never forget it. And I prayed like that on my knees and my forehead 3 times, and each time incredible stuff happened to me. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I'm sorry if I got gabby, but that's me. That's why I don't do good in shorts, because I get carried away. Shorts, not shorts, but short videos, I get carried away with my mouth. But anyway, I really hope this has helped you understand, and that I appreciate if you like, subscribe, and comment, because it really does help the algorithm. If this is on Facebook, or anyone to like and share, and on YouTube to subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next time. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.